You have performed opera songs live. Would you consider doing something much darker, like Being Schlafengehen from Strauss? Are you familiar?
Well, I've had classical singing lessons in the past, so that's a little bit where my passion lies, where it all started. And when we did the Classical Conspiracy, I was also asked if I wanted to sing some classical pieces, so I took the one which I started off with, the Ombre Ma Fou, and it kind of reignited my passion for classical singing. So I am actually thinking of maybe recording a more classical CD, because with Epica it has been toning down with each record a little bit. My voice has become more versatile, but I still do really love to sing classical, so I'm definitely going to collect a list of beautiful songs and perform them.
Okay. The songs of Epica seem to be more on the upbeat flavor. Is there a reason why you have not used your voice for the extremely dark kind of music, or the more depressing, sad?
Well, on this record, I do find that there are a couple of more depressing, melancholic songs. For example, Avalanche, Guilty Demeanor, Serenade of Self-Destruction. They are all very dark songs, also dark lyrics. But like the really, really dark stuff, I don't want to get into, because that just makes me depressive as well, and it's not good.
So you personally do not like depressing?
I have to be in the mood for it. You know, everybody has had a phase in their life where they just listen to one type of music, to one band, over and over again, and I connect it to certain moods. So whenever I feel sad and I allow myself to enhance feeling sad, you know what I mean? Then I have a couple of songs where I listen to and they can just burst me into tears in seconds. So, but I choose to listen to music which kind of brightens my mood as well, because that's I don't know who wants to feel sad voluntarily. I think everybody wants to be happy. So.
Well, you know, there's a difference between operatic vocals and actually a person who's been trained in opera.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are some fakers out there. But I'm thinking with the operatic vocals that you're able to produce, you can make some very frightening passages in your songs. Has that ever been a consideration?
You mean like Diamanda Galas, kind of frightening, you know, where it sounds like a ghost singing?
No, more like hell has opened and the dark angels have...
Well, we're not really that type of band, so not for Epica.
All right. And it was interesting that you said that in your listening choices, you do not ever go that direction.
No, I have done that in the past. I mean, when I was maybe more rebellious, but I've outgrown that phase.
Okay. Or maybe life is just so good.
Yeah, no, I'm happy.
Before I get into the lyrics, I want to know how you feel about political correctness.
Yeah, well, we're right now in the middle of, how do you say, political mess with Obama and Romney. As far as politics goes, I have my own idea, but I know that it's not realistic. I mean, what the politicians say is often not what's really happening behind closed doors. There's a lot of stuff being kept from the public. Some for the greater good, some just because of power struggles and lust for power. And it is an ongoing struggle, and I guess we just have to, in a way, trust the ones which are appointed or the ones which are fighting for us. But when it comes with Epica, Mark expresses his political preferences and also his view on what's happening in the world. And that's also for us as musicians, as a band where the fans really read the lyrics, they think about it. We have intelligent fans which do really also like Epica, not only for the music but also for what we write for. So we use that also as a tool to inspire other people to also get involved and express your opinion. Go vote, because if you just sit at home, complain about the situation, and you don't get your ass out to vote, then you don't have any right to speak. I mean, everybody has the right to vote, so you should get out there and vote.
In some of the lyrics that you have written, it seems that the voice is directed at a lover, but to me I think that the lover is a metaphor, a betrayer.
Which song are you talking about?
Over the albums, it seems to be one of your themes.
No, I'm not writing about a loved one at all. I think you maybe misinterpreted
well,
that.
Whenever you have statements that make it appear that you might be singing or referring to a lover, it's symbolic for something else, right?
Well, I think the only lyric which could imply that would be "Never Enough," because was a little bit about a suffocating relationship and people which are never satisfied. It's like they are insatiable. That is probably the only one which could bring that message across. So, but the others, no.
Well, getting back to the
Not really.
political correctness, it seems that some of the lyrical themes of yours have to do with being liberated, and I wonder if it has to do with the thought police. In America, you can't say certain things, and in England it's even worse. I don't know if it's that way in Holland. Well, I imagine Germany, you can't say certain things, but...
Yeah, well, there's one song, "Martyr of the Free Word," which deals about freedom of speech. And even though we come from a very liberal country, some of our politicians which have spoken their mind openly have been killed. So that is, for us, there's like a thin line between freedom of speech, like talking respectfully, outing your opinion, and deliberately hurting other people and creating hatred. So we do also express our opinions in our music, and we do also want everybody else to express your opinion, but in a respectful manner. Because nowadays also on the internet, everybody's just writing shit. Everybody's just writing nasty, dark stuff and not thinking of what harm it does to others. You know, that kind of anonymous internet bullying and discriminating and disrespectful, deliberately hurting people, and that's not cool. I mean, I am always up for an open conversation. It's okay if people don't like your music or if they don't like you as a person, but they don't have to push your buttons in a wrong way, I find. And freedom of speech is very important. And even though in Holland there have been some politicians killed over it, I do want to inspire everybody to just speak your mind in a respectful manner. And I am glad that I am able to do that, because not in all countries that is the case. And it's like, how do you say, it should be in the Constitution that we're all allowed to speak our minds in a respectful manner.
Well, I think forbidding certain speech, even though you think you're protecting a population, that is a bad thing that should never be practiced. I don't know if you agree.
Well, in certain countries you can get stoned by expressing your opinion, and that's, for me, that's just, I can't comprehend such a thing that exists, you know. Not fair.
The first album I heard of yours, it was the one prior to Nuclear Blast that had a red digipack. I bought it basically because it looked artistic, and I was thinking, you know, that would be very mean to make something look so nice and being crap. But I was very surprised that with your heavenly vocals that were, I don't know whether you would use the term anti-Christian sentiments or big criticism of Christianity.
Nothing we write is anti-religion at all. It is basically dealing about the extremities within religion, which cause unhuman situations. There's one record which is really like a conception album, dealing about a conception. That sounded like getting pregnant. Conception. Concept album.
Yes.
Where the Divine Conspiracy, where we are talking about all those different religions, that it's basically just one. There's one God, and we're all connected to that one, no matter what his name is, and the suicide attacks within Christianity. We've had these real incidents, like realistic stories that actually happened, which were an inspiration for a lyric. For example, "Living a Lie" was also about a Christian couple which were pregnant of a baby, and they knew it was going to the doctors told him it's not gonna survive. It doesn't have all the internal organs, but they believed even after the baby was born, they were like in this Christian sect. They thought that the baby would be brought back to life by God. And I myself, I'm now speaking for myself, not for Mark, because he also has his own opinions, but I have nothing against religion if it enriches your life and if everybody is treating each other with respect, because religion can be a beautiful thing. It can give you strength, it can give you hope. If you feel alone, you always think somebody's with you, which is really wonderful. But when it comes to suppressing women and people losing track of reality, I don't think it's bad to believe in something greater. I believe in miracles as well, but if you are so blindsided by your belief that you lose track of reality, that's not a good thing. And the suicide attacks are one of those extreme examples where you think that's unnecessary, something like that. So we have nothing against religion, just the extreme corners of certain religions which are not linked to the basic guidelines of the religion at all. It's just thought up by crazy people. Because we get the question a lot, like, do you have anything against Muslims? Do you hate Christians? Are you a satanic band? But we're not at all. Not at all.
Did you ever have a career path in opera?
No, unfortunately not. I mean, I've done a rock opera I've been asked to a couple of years ago. But like real opera, I've had classical singing lessons, but I didn't go to a university to really study opera, like for example Tarja has done. But what's not here might come one day. You never know.
So what led to your using operatic vocals in metal music? I know it's been done a lot, but at one time it was a rare thing.
Yeah.
So I wonder what your development was like.
Well, I loved listening to rock, punk, hardcore bands when I was like 13, 14, and I slowly got in touch with the metal music, starting more with black metal, slowly going into symphonic metal. And back then my ex-boyfriend had lots of CDs from bands like Tristania, Within Temptation, Lacuna Coil, and Nightwish. And for me, Nightwish, I loved all bands, but I liked particularly this combination of the heavy operatic vocals with the classical music. And as I started just enjoying the song, singing along, I found out that my voice had, that it fit somehow, and it felt really good, and it made me happy, and I had a lot of fun doing it. So then I already had singing lessons before, but those were more like pop, jazz singing lessons. And I thought maybe it's time to go for some classical singing lessons. And my great aunt, she's actually a teacher, but she told me, back then I was 16, she said, "You're too young to start singing because your voice hasn't developed into like a grown woman's body." But I was stubborn, I did it anyway. So that was a little bit the start of it all. So like the main band, or the main vocalist, which kind of gave me that push in the back, would have been Tarja.
Opera singers are known for the great volumes they can achieve.
Mm-hmm.
Are you such a person? Can you deafen someone next to you?
Yeah, totally. The guys don't like it when I do vocal warm-ups. Yeah, in the past in opera they didn't have microphones, and the theaters were built in a way that the acoustic, that the sound would be carried along, and a real opera singer would not need a microphone, but I'm standing on stage with electrical devices and a drum kit, so I need amplification.
And of course you trade off sometimes with the more pop style of singing.
Yeah, pop, rock, classical.
All right. Have you ever heard the song "Mary Had a Little Lamb"?
Yeah.
There's a reason why I asked. Do you know the lyrics of it?
No, I just know Mary had a little lamb, little lamb.
Yes, yes. Now, one of the artists on this DVD will be George Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse. And it is a tradition to always ask him to sing that to prove that he has no pitch recognition.
Okay.
And would you, as a trained singer, be able to give him a 2-second lesson on how to sing Mary Had a Little Lamb? You could look at the camera and say, George.
Well, George, maybe check out on YouTube and try singing along a couple of times. Record your vocals to listen to how your voice actually sounds, because a lot of people, when they're singing, you have a total different perception of how you sound. And a good way to always get to know your voice better is to actually record your vocals and listen back to it, because then you have a more objective hearing of what's actually happening. I practice with playing piano at the same time, so you hear the exact notes. Good luck.
You might change the flavor of Cannibal Corpse in the future.
Yeah, Cannibal Corpse goes lullaby metal.
Would you be able to hum at least or sing a bar of that before we proceed to the next question?
I don't know the lyrics.
Just Mary Had a Little Lamb, Little Lamb. That's all you need.
We have a little bit too much noise in the background right now.
All right. They have stopped for you. Well, we could pass if you don't want to do it. But it was just an example to him. Every artist always sings Mary Had a Little Lamb to put him to shame.
Oh, that's such an easy song. I mean, he can do it one day,
You
hopefully.
can do it one day? All right. So, as we mentioned before, you had a live album where you had choir, you had orchestral instruments. Is it possible for you to one day combine with Therian on the tour? Because you both use orchestral instruments.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I like the music, and if an opportunity like that arises, we should try to make it work, I guess. But we don't do choir and an orchestra like with each show. It's just impossible financially, stage-wise, traveling. It's a whole lot of hassle. But on the 23rd of March, we have our 10-year anniversary show together with the same orchestra and choir, which are on the live CD, to celebrate our 10-year anniversary and to play the Epica music as it was supposed to sound. But something like that takes a lot of months of preparation, and there's a lot of money involved also.
Getting back to the political correctness, since English is not your first language, it's interesting how mature your lyrics are, where in America, many Americans would struggle to write what you write. Is that an embarrassment? Is America known for being undereducated, would you say?
No, I don't want to start making those accusations, but the way when we are in America and we watch TV, then it's totally different than TV in Europe or Germany and Holland. The way commercials are put together, it's always for us a little bit like as if people are talking to a small child. You know, everything is simplified to the core, and it seems some commercials seem for us kind of fake in a way. There's like the Dutch and the German, they add a little bit of humor. We have a totally different humor than the Americans, but I don't want to make statements like Americans are undereducated. That's not my place.
Yeah,
I don't want to generalize everybody. I don't want to have
as soon as I said the question, I know that artists sometimes get, especially in America, they take one sentence completely out of context. And, you know.
What do you mean?
So you might have said one thing and explained, what you have just said. If we took just one sentence, the meaning would be more sinister. So I'm sorry about that. But it is a bit embarrassing that Americans living here it would be a struggle for them to write the way you do, or even speak the way you do.
Okay, that's not my place to say that. I actually don't really have any experience with people, Americans speaking less English than I do. I mean, I make mistakes, and when we write lyrics, we don't do it 100% from our inner vocabulary. We also keep our dictionaries with us, so we kind of always study a little bit the more fancy words, which look nicer in lyrics. And besides that, we also have somebody who helps us with the lyrics, which is taking out the big grammar mistakes and gives us nicer alternatives. So that's also to be mentioned.
Well, again, the political correctness. Rap is prevalent. It's in movies, it's even on television commercials in America. I don't know about its influence in Europe, but it seems that it's hyper-respected. The lyrics are usually terrible. They're not sophisticated at all, and it bothers me that is praised, whereas music that actually takes time to compose, like yours, and lyrics that take effort to write, are overlooked by critics in the mainstream. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, but it's difficult. Everybody has their own taste in music. It's not like if music takes more time to prepare that it's automatically better. It's the tune which catches the attention of the listener, and it's the words that inspire other people. I mean, writing about big butts and big boobs and partying and all that stuff. Our lyrics go a little bit deeper than that. I always say we don't really write about the birds and the bees. And the name of the band, Epica, is actually, Epica is a place in the universe where you can find all the answers of the questions of life. And those are recurring topics in our lyrics. And we never write music which you can just put on in the background and just, have running. It takes attention and devotion to grow into our music, and it's quality music which hopefully will last for the rest of your life. There are certain songs you listen to a million times and then you can't stand them anymore, and with our songs, our music, you kind of build up a relationship, and that's also how we intend it to be. Long-lasting friendship.
All right. I guess final question, because we're actually almost out of time, is that there are girls who sometimes like bands because of the attraction to one of the band members.
Yes.
Do you think that the same can happen in Epica, where a man can become a fan because of your beauty, or at least your beauty leads the man to Epica?
Well, nowadays everything is more focused on the optical side of the entertainment business, and it's of course exploited in many ways. And I'm not gonna lie by saying that Epica is not using it. I mean, people are getting really lazy, and the first thing that catches their attention is via the eyes. So, and the whole aspect with live music. When you play the songs, we also take care of the stage decoration. We want the whole image to be like a feast for the eyes. And back in the days when there was no television or stuff, you could just hear the music and you connect with it automatically. But nowadays it's all become so visual, so it all has to fit together. So we do try to put an effort in it, and I like dressing up, playing with hair and makeup. It's also a kind of a hobby, a second job of mine. But I do want the first emphasis to lie on the music, because that's what we are doing here. And looks will fade away anyway. It's about charism as well. It's not only about having the perfect height, perfect body type. It's about how you radiate inner beauty as well. I mean, you can have a great body, but if you're hollow on the inside, nobody's gonna want to look at you, because you're just like a statue.
All right, well, I guess that is it.